What's going on, sports card hobby family? Back again. It's another day. It's another sports card video.
My name is Jeff, and I'm here to say I love sports cards in a big, big way.
Oh, man, it is Thursday today. It's rainy here in North Carolina. I am ready. Actually, it might be hot tub night tonight. We might be doing some hot tubbing this weekend. I am ready for a little bit of a break. I don't know about you guys. It's been a long week already. If you missed it, me, Neo, and Steve were doing our off-centered thing. Had a good time as usual. It's our bi-weekly show. Make sure to check it out. That was on last night if you want to check the channel. Or Neo Cards and Comics, Flipping Steve. You can find it there as well. Huge thanks to today's video sponsor, My Card Post. Free to buy. But man, the first subscription-based selling platform, I know when you go on eBay, you're okay kind of spending those fees because of the reach that you get. The My Card Post community growing like a weed, up to 7,100 members. They have selling subscriptions that range from $9 a month to $22 a month, depending on how many cards you want to have listed at any given time. Free to buy, free to sign up and be a buyer, but it's amazing how much you can save by having just one of these subscription-based platforms. You can also trade on there. There's a forum where you can actually write like, hey, looking to trade down. It is a sweet platform. They keep on adding different features, so make sure to check out My Card Post. I'll have a link in the video description as well as in the pinned comments. All right, Geoff Wilson yesterday released a video. He had Michael Rubin, CEO of Fanatics, the god of collectibles these days, came in to visit CardsHQ and the team. And I was kind of taken aback by some of the video, just taking in the information. I understand Geoff is, crafted that thing to kind of show some of the highlights, but I was trying to read between the lines as much as I can. I'm here to speculate a little bit on what I did see. So the first thing right out of the gate is they asked a ton of questions. Basically, it felt like to me kind of testing Geoff.
Coffee's for closers only.
And the team. I don't know if it was Geoff and also the two other operators, or if Geoff was like, hey guys, I think I'm going to handle this one. I'll run with it with Michael Rubin. And Michael Rubin asked all sorts of different questions: store numbers, what are your margins on this, expenses on that,
Closers only.
how much did the cases cost you, what are your store goals,
Closers only.
Basically, to me, a lot of it felt like, this is just innocent bystander just watching the video, testing Geoff, do you know your business? That's what it kind of felt like to me. Michael Rubin kind of testing him to see like, okay, you've got this massive mega store, but do you know your numbers? Because it's critical. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm some, amazing, businessman, Rockefeller that, knows all the numbers and this and that. But especially with a retail store, you have to know down to the SKUs kind of what's going on with everything. So I thought that was interesting. They came in, him and then the president, Kevin, I think, Mahan, I think that's his name. We're just kind of walking around perusing and asking him all these different questions, really as a test. I know that Geoff has met Michael Rubin before, but I don't know if he's had that much kind of one-to-one in-depth discussion, as far as the store, hobby, that sort of thing. So I thought that was really interesting to see. Michael Rubin reiterating in that video, we are just getting started. Of course, they don't have the basketball and the football licenses yet, so they're just trying to kind of operate as best they can. They've got, of course, baseball with Topps products, and frankly, they've done quite a bit as far as the MLB debut patch. Nobody's questioning the marketing around it. Some will say like, hey, these are gimmick cards with the Tom Brady, this sort of thing, but you can't question that there's already an increase as far as the marketing and the player involvement and everything that they're doing. Another thing, and actually I can tie this into what I saw at Rip Night when I was in New York where Tom Brady was there. Again, focusing in on that next generation. Do we have kids getting involved? What do we have going on for children? Geoff was talking about how they're going to start doing some birthday party things. They're going to test out some birthday party packages at the store and trying to kind of continue to grow out that next generation. I am sure that they're probably thinking, look, a lot of the 40, 50-year-old dorks like me and like us here that are in the space, we were buying packs as kids and we got into the hobby young, and that's where we cut our teeth. I've said it before in the channel, buying, selling cards, trading cards as a kid was the first time that was the first foray into commerce / business and money and trying to figure out, how to best spend money and then being able to trade into things. That all first started with me going back when I was 9, 10, 11, 12 years old with baseball cards, with sports cards. Now, of course, it's grown out dramatically. When I was a kid, really your only options were go to the mall kiosk, to the dealer there, hey, sir, would you take my Larry Johnson Upper Deck rookie card? How much would you give me for it? And it just wasn't a great, efficient market to do that in. Now it is very, very different. Now all of those kids are my age. They've all grown up and they've started businesses, and they've really built out the space over the last 5 years. And you look, there's a whole crew of these people: Michael Rubin, Gary V, Luber, Josh Luber. I don't know what he's doing now, but this is a whole clique of folks that have huge money that have gotten back into this space and pumped money into the space. DJ Ski, Aoki, these are all people that are right around the same age that have huge money to spend and have invested their money into either cards, collectibles, or businesses, or both within the space. And we're starting to see, I think, it's going to start to really take shape for me here over the next few years, where we're really going to see one thing. He kind of slipped when he said this. Michael Rubin said,
"You guys make us proud, like what you guys have done.
Appreciate it.
Amazing.
This is awesome.
And it's like, this is honestly, like, this is what we want. This is what we expect. This is like, it gets us excited.
This is what we expect. He said expect, and then he switched to want to see. And he was about to say, this is what we expect, almost as if like, yes, you've built this amazing store, but this is kind of what we want. This is it. Like, this is kind of similar to what we would want to see in a Topps Fanatics store. I saw some speculation. Some people thinking he's eyeballing that to figure out, all right, how am I going to have my own Topps Fanatics stores? Which is, I think that's valid given Michael Rubin's kind of track record of seeing stuff that he likes and either buying that thing or starting his own and kind of competing. He is more likely, though, to buy that thing. And so I feel like it's more likely that instead of him setting up, it's kind of like with card shows, with Fanatics live card shows, where I think he ended up buying another show, or there's some speculation on that. He picked, I think the guy that ran the Burbank card show is now running Fanatics shows, Fanatics card shows, or Fanatics events, or whatever it's going to be. He likes to kind of take what's already there and just kind of build off of that. I could very well see, I think it's more likely, instead of him taking this and saying like, oh, I'm going to compete with CardsHQ, him doing more of a thing where it's like he turns CardsHQ into Fanatics stores, or he buys the chain or helps support franchises that look like this. Okay, we have a model here that works, and assuming that Geoff can kind of build this out, show progress, growth, and that sort of thing, and if Geoff does open up another location, another few locations, I think it looks to me like Topps Fanatics is a lot more likely to support these types of mega stores. I just wonder too if if it's going to be like Toys R Us almost for card stores in the future. Every major city's got kind of a CardsHQ or a Toys R Us. We're all used to these kind of smaller card shops. Growing up, that's really what it was. These were small card shops. I've mentioned it. And actually, I like those shops for the nostalgia. I do understand. I hope there's a balance. I hope there's a balance where you have smaller card shops and then you have some of these kind of mega stores. But I also know that a lot of card shops are not reliant on Topps or Fanatics or Panini to give them product to be able to operate their store. They've got their own business model, and they're kind of fine no matter what. They're not reliant on that product. If you have a mega store, you're probably more reliant on getting that product over time. Maybe you can survive without it, of course, but it certainly helps if you are getting a nice stash of product from the manufacturer. And it looks to me like Michael Rubin, at least in this video now, maybe he does a 180, but it certainly looked, I think he said at one point in that video, I'm proud of you guys. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, I think that Geoff in part took a leap because he saw the writing on the wall. He did see that Michael Rubin and Fanatics Topps were going to take over and they wanted nicer stores. And then he went and just did like the nicest, most modern store that we have. But I think that is part of kind of reading between the lines, listening to what Michael Rubin's saying, and trying to make that happen and executing on it. Now, Geoff will even say too, there's a lot of risk still associated with this thing. They just opened up. They have a long way to go. They've got probably a lot of expenses there, employees to pay. There's all the stuff I hear kind of the knocks on the store, and they're valid. Look, I mean, you've got to generate revenue a lot of different ways. I know they're going to really ramp up Pokemon tournaments, and he mentioned kind of the birthday parties. You're going to try out different things. They have a large event space there. They could almost run a card show inside that store with how big it is. A small card store is essentially what that card shop is out there in Atlanta. But going back quickly to the next generation, there is a big focus. They like to see that his son Reeves, Geoff's son Reeves, was active in there, breaking cards, opening packs in front of the cameras. they like to see that, and I can second that. When I was at the RIP night out there where Tom Brady had showed up in New York, heavy focus on, all right, all the young people to the front. It was like, hey, 40, 50-year-old dads, please get out of the way. We're here for, for the kids. We're here for young people to trade cards and to be active in the hobby. So there's a huge focus on that next generation. I kind of pushed back on that a little bit when I made my video after I went to RIP night. And it was kind of like, hey, don't forget who's giving them, their allowance. Don't forget about the people that, got into it and got them into it. Let's not forget those folks, like me. We're the ones that are using the disposable income to make it all happen. So they've got kind of a fine line, a little bit of a balance there that they've got to do. But Michael Rubin, Fanatics, and those guys, they want to see a focus on family friendly and the next generation being involved in those stores. Geoff switching over to Fanatics Live from Whatnot at some point. I don't have any sort of inside information, haven't talked to Geoff, hasn't said like this is what we're going to do. I have zero inside information at all. But it seems to me that that could be another kind of lever that Michael Rubin uses as, oh, you want more product? Well, I noticed you're not using Fanatics Live to live sell. There would be incentives there, I think, for him to kind of push a little bit on stores that are reliant on product. And as Fanatics Live grows, they're just, again, they're still kind of getting started. Will they take away market share from Whatnot? We'll have to see kind of how that plays out. But I know they are certainly trying, and they also, the other thing I was going to say too, and this is not a new kind of revelation, but they did hint again that they want stores selling retail to customers. They have absolutely zero tolerance for giving product to stores and then those stores selling to other dealers or other stores. Kind of the way that the distribution used to work, where there was kind of this little bit of a game being played where, store or dealer might get some distribution and then they end up selling it off to their buddies or selling it on the secondary market. No. Fanatics wants to sell directly to the customers, and if they are giving product at wholesale to a store, they want it sold directly to customers. They do not want that being sold to breakers or to other dealers or to other card shops. And I know that they will be watching that very, very closely. So that's another thing that's going to be different as we move forward. There is a lot more direct to consumer, or it's going to be, you can only get it from the card shop. It's not going to be from, second, third hand, type stuff. It's not going to be because the store that got allocation sold it, to another store. I just don't see it happening like that. Could be wrong, but I think they're gonna crack down on that quite a bit. Will we see more of the Toys R Us style mega card stores? I think Geoff is only the first. I think CardsHQ is only going to be the first, especially if he shows success. If there is success there,
Coffee's for closers only.
And they continue to kind of build that out, if there's other locations that do pop up, I think that there's going to be other big money folks that look at this and think, maybe I'm not going to put $3, $4, $5 million like Geoff did, but something kind of similar where, hey, we're going to drop $1 million into a card shop and get it going. I think that it's more likely that happens as we move forward, because I do think Topps Fanatics will make a point to assist and kind of make sure that those shops are propped up, if you will, make sure that they have enough product and that sort of thing. But we'll have to see how it plays out. We're always speculating here a lot of times, so let me know your thoughts in the comments below, my friends. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.